seeing the situation in the righteous, correct way and acting accordingly. We start seeing how our life is the piece of a big mosaic of all creation. We start seeing clearly the bigger trends. Whatever the problem you get stuck into, you have only one perspective, maximum 2 or 3. Try think from the same problem from 12 different perspectives. How can I take responsibility in this particular situation and transform it to win-win outcome? Okay, for the next 3 months I defined, I will plant my seed and I will see what happens. I will pour it continuously. So which powerful questions can I ask in order to establish the positive qualities, the positive keywords from this card, which is all about equanimity, establishing that ultimate extreme responsibility, utter ownership in ours for any kind of situation, seeing the situation in the righteous, correct way and acting accordingly. So I prepared here for you the set of those questions specifically to encrypt all of these qualities in you. Let's have a look at it together. So question number 1, what is another angle of looking at this situation? What are powerful questions? So if we are looking at the preparatory card before the card Justice. So we have Justice card, but the preparatory card for the card Justice is the Wheel of Fortune. And here we mentioned already in our previous video that basically, if we instill the code of the Sphinx looking at this Wheel of Fortune in ours in the correct way, we will be mature of our perception of our role in this reality and stop perceiving ours as that small cycle. We start seeing the bigger cycles. We start seeing how our life is the piece of a big mosaic of all creation. We start seeing clearly the bigger trends, right? And with that righteous perception, righteous clarity and vision, we move naturally to the Justice card. So in order to establish that righteousness and right perception of this realm here and acting accordingly, like this lady, through scales and swords. Scales meaning you have developed attention to that bigger picture and your role in that bigger picture, and you act accordingly every time in a just, righteous way, right? So you wanna look at each and every situation like that Sphinx, meaning you see the perspective of angel, you see perspective of bird, you see perspectives of Saturn, of Anubis, of the lion, of the bull. You see different perspectives. Even in the Bible, do you remember that Jesus had 12 disciples and each and every one had their own perspective of his life and his deeds? So, and I have a challenge for you here. Whatever the problem you get stuck into, you have only one perspective, maximum 2 or 3. Try think from the same problem from 12 different perspectives, and I will promise you, you will have a bit more righteous sight right now, righteous eyesight, righteous vision. You will become more like the Sphinx and write it down in your tarot journal. What are the 12 different, the defining point, different perspectives onto your problem right now? So very, very important, another different angle, right, for the same situation. And the challenge, the macro challenge for you, 12. I'm really wondering, you direct all your creativity, beautiful souls, to figuring out all those 12 different perspectives, and let's see what will happen. Now, how can I take responsibility, powerful word, or utter ownership in this particular situation and transform it, another powerful word, to win-win outcome? Not just to my outcome, to win-win outcome, because this lady, remember, she is seeing herself as only part of the universal mosaic of all creation. She's taking care about others, not only about her will, but the will of others. Okay? So that's why we ask that question. How can I take responsibility in this particular situation and transform it to win-win outcome? Question number 3. Which one decision or action from my side can define the best possible outcome. Okay? Now, when you ask yourself this question, what you can do, you can look at your card, the Justice, and pick a symbol which just you pay attention to immediately. And then write down that symbol into your tarot journal. Now, the next step is try to establish that answer in you. Is it popping up that answer as an association to that symbol answering that question? If nothing is popping up there, then you just like blank, leave it for the next day. Now, let's say you ask yourself the question, which one action can define the best possible outcome in my situation, and you are, let's say, living with an abusive parent. I don't know, from any kind of perspective, we kind of like sometimes coming from not really healthy relationships. So with an abusive partner, like toxic relationships. So which one action can define the best possible outcome? And let's say I see these scales immediately. So it just, Yulia, wait, stop, evaluate, see, don't move right now. That's the best action possible. Let's look at the situation. Actually, let's get back from 12 possible outcomes. Let's see it first. And then once we see different perspectives, we can come back to that deeper understanding what to do next. But first thing first, we must stop, right? If we saw scales, and then we can see, okay, it's not enough, we saw scales. Maybe I can look at another symbol. And what is another symbol? I see that blunt. And it's just like, oh, what can it mean? Now I'm blank. Maybe in the next morning I wake up and what can it mean? Oh, I need to plant the seed. And then I see the fruition. What can I do? Which kind of actions can I do? And for which period? Actually, I define a period. Let's say it's an alcoholic family member, or let's say it's a toxic family member, or whatever it is. Okay, for the next 3 months, I define I will plant my seed and I will see what happens. I will pour it continuously, and I will communicate clearly to that person all what I am trying to do. And if I see nothing, then in 3 months, I don't know, I am out. I figure out the way out of this game. But during these 3 months, I am all in. I am all into this. And I want to see what will be the fruition, how high there will be my tree, how high there will be the plant which I am planting here, right? So this is in fact the way how you start communicating with your cards. You can use your whole deck and do your shuffling. You can use it with different cards, not just with the Justice card. You can just shuffle, pull out your card, whatever the card is, and see the symbolism there. So literally the same principle which you use on other cards, just pulling out the spread which you like for that, whatever the spread is. But I recommend doing simple spreads for these types of questions.